grading, presentations, worksheets, deadlines chasing us into our bedrooms. But imagine adults bringing their office home every night.
I don't want to go to school and be surrounded by loud, arrogant children. I hate school. I hate school. I hate school.
Looking at school is making me want to become a failure. I feel no drive to be here. I feel depressed.
We're on Chromebooks all day. We're barely allowed to talk. Our passing periods are so short, we literally speed walk everywhere. If suffering is your definition of strength, maybe you shouldn't be in charge of the kids who come after you.
My kids hate school, and when I say hate school, despise. I just dropped my kids off at school, and pretty much she's already texting me telling me that she's ready to come home. Like literally, they're sometimes in tears when they're going to school, and I'm like, makes me feel bad.
Come get me. I'm bored. I hate this school. I don't want to be here. Everybody's mean. I don't like anybody. Nobody likes me. Every day. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, every day. So what can I do besides keep saying, no, you have to be there?
I look at all of my classmates' faces while we're in school right now. We all look like sweatshop workers working at a Bangladeshi Temu factory.
School is supposed to prepare kids for life. But what if school is also indirectly training kids to normalize unhappiness? Not because every teacher is evil, but because the system rewards performance over meaning. And that shapes how kids feel about life. A recent CDC study found that a large share of high school students report feeling persistently sad and hopeless. Around 40% of high school students. So the question is simple. If kids are spending most of their time in school, what is school training them to think and feel about life? By the end of this video, you'll understand how school kills interest and replaces it with achievement, how school trains kids to also fear failure, and how that fear of failure then turns into avoidance of challenge. And I'll then show you some ways that you can reverse this in your own household, even if you aren't homeschooled like I am. Hi there, my name is Chidima Wobodo. I am a homeschooled senior, and I've been in public school for 6 years and homeschooled for 6 years. And I'll make this one point really simple. School normalizes a feeling. I'm not saying that kids are supposed to be happy and joyful and sunshines and rainbows every single second, because honestly, stress is a part of life. But what I'm saying is that school normalizes an unhealthy type of unhappiness, constant pressure, boredom, disconnect from the curriculum, and the feeling that that is how life is supposed to be. Because when kids live in that state for long enough, they stop asking questions, and important questions, like, why am I doing this? All they start asking is, what do I need to get through it? The problem with that is that you start turning to coping mechanisms instead of addressing the true issue underneath it. So, pattern 1, interest gets replaced by achievement. When you're forced to consume content that you do not care about for years and years on end, your brain learns a survival skill. Do the bare minimum and get the result. The game becomes achievement over anything else. Look smart, get good grades, prove that you're capable. Pursue not what's meaningful, pursue what's impressive. That's how you get students to perform, to put up facades, but never truly care about what they're actually doing. And living without any interest in your life feels completely empty. Back when I was in public school, I would say I did like the hands-on activities we did with like rocks and stuff, but looking back, I was so detached from the curriculum and what they were actually teaching. Pattern 2, failure becomes the identity. I think we all know student A. Student A is the high-performing student, the one that gets straight A's. The teachers love them, their parents praise them.
It's late, what are you doing up?
I'm working on the hyperbolic calculations for rocket return.
They're smart, they're capable, they're great. The thing about student A is that there's always a cost to everything. Student A is usually stressed out over their grades, and they have the type of parents that are like, the parents are gonna kill me if I get this low grade. I actually did have a friend like this back when I was in public school, and she used to spin out about her grades all the time. The cost of pressure and high performance and feeling like you have to be perfect all the time is you become intolerant to failure. Student B is what I would call the average student. This is the student that's basically just cruising through. They have maybe A's, B's, and they're willing to do what's generally just required to get through. Student B kind of lives on autopilot. They're not really thinking much about what's in the curriculum. We just care about, okay, will this help me get to where I want to be? Will this help me get a job? And that creates a sense of indifference. And last but not least, student C. Let's just say the troublemaker student.
That's a detention. Down. You just earned yourself a detention, sir. Now get back here.
Student C has, the bad grade. People are constantly telling student C that they're not smart, they're dumb, they're gonna be a failure. And student C just doesn't seem to actually care. Like I said, for the other two, there is a cost. They have this less than complex, as if they're less than other people, or they feel that they're problematic. And the world really impresses that upon student C just because they have lower grades. What is the common denominator between all three of these students? Well, they're all defined by their grades, and neither one of them care about the curriculum because they're defined by their performance. If the point of all of these students' success is just their grade, why would they even care about the curriculum? And why would they go out of their way to do what's hardest, to challenge themselves? Why would they not use ChatGPT to get through their assignments if the end goal is simply to just do everything correct, and correct by the school's standards, not of actually how life works? I feel like no one really takes the time to slow down and think about how the students feel as they're doing the work. And by normalizing this sense of indifference, by normalizing anxiety, and by normalizing you're not good enough, can all lead to roads of unhappiness. Point number 3, avoidance of challenge. This one is a scary one, in my opinion. The interest in school is completely dead, and failure feels dangerous. That leaves students with basically one choice. Kids avoid challenges. They choose what's easiest, what's safest, and what looks great in front of everyone else. Trying something new always comes with a risk. You might actually fail. And what school teaches you about failing is that failure is bad, and it's something you should stay away from. When you look at successful people, one thing that they always say is to persist through failure, not to avoid it.
Failure is a wonderful teacher.
And not being afraid to fail. Failure is the key to success. So
You will fail your way to greatness.
There's research that found that creative thinking scores have declined over time. Patterns of creativity dropping or even flattening around 6th grade. I'm not saying school is the only reason for all of this. Yes, sometimes parents can be involved, sometimes peers, and even social media. But what I am saying is that school is a huge contributor to this. Creators see failure as a process, and I believe school should train kids to do this. Train kids that failure doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So if this is true, what can families do about it today? Here are 3 things that you can do. Number 1, protect interest. Every single kid needs at least one lane that school can't squeeze a grade out of them. A real skill, a project, a craft, something that they can get good at outside of just grades. Second, I would say reframe what failure looks like. Failure doesn't have to mean what's wrong with you. It can mean, okay, let's try something new. My brother and I recently did door-to-door sales where we went up to the houses in our neighborhood and we knocked on the doors to go around selling our book, Mistavale, The Council of Secrets. And I remember how nervous we were to sell this book. We went up to the doors and our assignment was that both of us were going to go up to and knock on, let's just say 15 doors each. And I was so afraid that I didn't even knock on any doors. My brother did all of it at the beginning. And he was brave enough to take that first step. I just felt like, no, I'm not the kind of person who should do that. I was honestly very terrified. But the second time around, our mom was like, no, you got to go do it. She didn't just say, oh no, F, you failed the assignment. She said, no, you have to go do it. The next time we went, I had to knock on all of the doors. It was like a fear that you can't really explain, like a dreaded fear, but I had to push myself to do that. On the other side of it, I found that it was actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I feel like a lot of kids need that medium to be able to test their ability and test their limits. And third, the challenge requires a purpose. We were doing this for the purpose of let's just say selling our book, but also for the purpose of strengthening confidence, strengthening our resilience. A product that allows a child to test out where their capabilities are, where their ceiling is, would be a great idea to do. Homeschool is powerful because it lets you incentivize what you want to incentivize. In our homeschool, yes, we do courses and classes, but we also do hands-on projects where we're basically in the field doing it. And a lot of these things we were interested in. I think that us having a certain interest in it to begin with makes it something worthwhile at the end of the day. School can normalize unhappiness, but families can reverse it. If you want stronger, happier kids, stop chasing grades. Let them build their character through challenge, through resilience, through trying. Now, anyways, that's the end of this video. My name is Chidama Wobodo, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!